yesterday I started playing with Bolt.new. So you've heard me talk about Replit, you've heard me talk about Cursor. So Bolt, I played around with these yesterday. I made an app. So this app, what it does is like, okay, make me an app that will come up with viral packaging for my YouTube videos, right? So come up with 5 headlines and 5 thumbnails. Allow me to upload the video or podcast or the audio file and allow me to post a link to the YouTube. Give me those alternatives. And it crafted like a UI for me and everything was perfect. And then it also spotted when there were like errors with the code. And so when I showed my developers, I was like, hey, does this get me like pretty much there? They're like, this is great because this is like a PRD, which is like, it's a product something.
I don't know what PRD
PRD is like what product managers like to say, but it's basically like a write-up for like a product description. Product something description. That's what it is at the end of the day. But Bolt.new, it's free to use and it could change the game for marketers because someone like you and me, we can now get to basically concept pretty quickly and say, hey, I want to build this. Versus before in the past, it was all in our head or we might have to use like Balsamic to like wireframe it and all that.
Yeah.
Now it's way faster.
And Bolt.new is actually the domain name, right?
Yeah. Bolt.new.
Because when you first put that in the spreadsheet, I thought you were talking about Bolt, the checkout company.
No. There's so many Bolts. Yeah. There's like a checkout company. There's like a scooter company. But this is Bolt.new. And I believe it'll change the game for marketers because it's faster than Replit. Cursor's more for developers, but it's not as complex. I think it's just simpler than Replit. All right, so I wanted to take a second to tell you about the Agency Owners Association. So this is an agency peer group ran by my podcast co-host Neil Patel and myself, Eric Siu. And these were 9 and 8 figure agency owners respectively. And what I will say is at the end of the day, you want to learn from people that have been there, done that. If you want to grow your agency to 7 figures, 8 figures and beyond, this is the group for you. And we bring in other agency owners to speak as well. And it's a great peer group where you can help each other out. And you're going to learn how to acquire more clients. You're going to learn how to take yourself out of the day-to-day and to build the business of your dreams. And the cool thing, till November 30th, we are holding a special price and you can apply at marketingschool.io/agency. And the great thing about it as well, if you try to get into group, there's a 7-day free trial, right? So once November 30th hits, we're going to increase the price by $200 per month. So right now you're getting it at the lowest price possible. So go to marketingschool.io/agency to learn more and we'll see you inside.
Speaking of YouTube and the thumbnails with this Bolt.new, you and I have built a personal brand over the years. Neither of us have built a crazy personal brand like a Kylie Jenner or a Tony Robbins, but either way, we have many personal brands. When you first started your personal brand, I'm assuming most people found you from blogging, which was the same for me because we started blogging before anything else.
I think it was podcast because you had a lot more traffic for blogging.
Okay, so yours was podcast.
Because I started podcasting before like Tim Ferriss and a lot of people.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were that early.
Yeah.
So you have blogging, podcasting, and videos. For your personal brand, what do most people first find you from? Is it the podcast, the blog now, or videos? If you had to pick one,
I think it's podcast. Well, it's tough because sometimes people will come up to me like at events, like, "Oh, I watch your like social content," and that's like blended now, like shorts or whatever. So yeah.
But you're creating most of your social content from podcasts.
Correct.
And for me, it used to be everyone where I went to conferences being, I used to read your stuff forever.
It kind of still is like that, no?
No, it's not. When I go to conferences the last 6 months to a year, it's shifted in which majority of the people say, I've been watching your videos forever and it's taught me a lot.
Wow.
Very few people say, I've been reading your content. And I think there's a shift. I don't have any data on this, but I think it's a shift in which, you know, we obviously know people are consuming data or content through video over text, and that is their preferred method, right? There's a lot of stats and data on that. We know the average person spends hour and 27 minutes on the social web a day, and most of that content is video. But I believe in personal branding, it really is videos before anything else, and it's shifted.
We've talked about this on the pod where I believe the next decade, YouTube is going to have the most upside. Because I spend a lot of my lunches and dinners just watching YouTube. I don't watch anything. Like I'm not watching Netflix unless it's like Mr. McMahon or something. Did you see that documentary? So good. So, oh my God. You're flying tomorrow, aren't you?
Today.
Okay. Watch Mr. McMahon. It's so good.
Who's Mr. McMahon, the wrestler?
He basically bought the WWE from his dad and he made it into the juggernaut that it is. If you like business, watch it. And you do like business.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what were we talking about? YouTube video, right? Dude, even WWE, like you remember The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, right? That's all video. Like they all like why? Because we saw these people on video, right? And so for us, yeah, I don't know. I think it mostly is video. Because people are like, oh yeah, I watch your shorts, or like, oh, your YouTube, like blah blah blah, and it's either from this stuff or the leveling up stuff.
And yeah, my number one feedback from people on how they find me when I ask them today is, I've watched a lot of your YouTube videos. Specifically, they say YouTube. Now, my other social networks, when you look at the view count, they surpass YouTube by a lot. And then when I'm going to events where it's an older demographic, they typically say, I've been following you and your content and your blogs for ages. The younger demographic, they always tell me video first. The older demographic, it's text first.
Yeah. So I think like, you don't really blog that much anymore, do you? Once a week still?
I still do, but yeah. And the blog gets way more traffic than all our social platforms.
Really? And the blog gets most of the leads still?
By far.
Yeah. So I just think the written word is underrated. I mean, that's where we both started because it forces you to think. Right now, we're stream of consciousness, right? So we're kind of shooting from the hip a little bit or a lot of bit. But when you write and you sit down and write, it actually like you correct yourself quite a bit. And it's the thoughts are more polished. I'll just put it that way.
Way more polished. And I'm 100% certain for our B2B business, we generate way more revenue from the text-based content than the videos. And when I say way more, I'm 110% sure more than 90% of our inbound revenue, when you're looking at the different marketing channels, has to be from the blog.
Yeah.
It by far surpasses the blog or the website.
Yeah.
I'm excluding social traffic. More than 90% comes from there, specifically SEO traffic. The 10% is all the other stuff.
Maybe we're a little biased, right? Because like, so for me, it's probably around 80% or so comes from the website. But we're also both SEOs.
Yeah, but I would say we're better than the average person when it comes to social media marketing as well.
Okay, fine. That's fair too.
And the main reason I'm bringing this up is I believe there's going to be a shift in, call it 5 to 10 years, where we're going to see the reversal. We're just seeing it, at least right now, when I'm going in person, I've noticed it's always the younger people who say that. The older people are still using text-based. And when we look at our decision makers for our contracts, it tends to be a more elder person because it's usually a senior person who has to sign off on our contracts.
Yep. Makes sense. Well, so anyway, don't sleep on blogging, still not dead, but YouTube is a nice opportunity for the next 10 years. And that is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.